You may be wondering why I'm wearing a tie and a collared shirt, and I'm going to tell you. It's because I'm attending a funeral. Now, what funeral is this, you might ask? What wise, intelligent, political statement have I possibly come up with? No. It has nothing to do with that. You see, I'm here to witness the funeral of my f***ing reach because you f***ing trolls bullshit and say that we're f***ing hate speech when we're not. That's what I'm here doing. I'm attending the f***ing funeral of the f***ing 200,000 people that watched what the f*** we've been doing for the last 2 weeks. And then YouTube and TikTok and a bunch of little ass trolls get us shut down. Well, I've got news for you, mother. We ain't going anywhere. Kick the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 187 of ARP, the American Reveille podcast. And no, this whole show isn't supposed to be about me bitching and moaning about my Shadowban and my reach and all of that crap. No, but I say, why Shadowban the little guys? Why come after me? Why come after the nice, presentable conservative over here with the pretty curly mustache? Why come after me? Why don't you go Shadowban the FBI? They like to take passports anyway. You want to come after little old me, and a lot of you are probably thinking, no, James, that's not what happened. Your content must not have been the highest of quality. You must not have looked at your keywords, the SEO. Shut the up. You didn't work for the last 2 years on this. I did. I've been studying this market. I've been studying this business. I've been studying the algorithms. I know how they work. I know what happens when they come in and just flip the switch. You don't go from hundreds and hundreds and thousands of views to literally nothing in the span of an hour without there being good reason. And I know that within an hour of that happening, I was kicked off of TikTok Live last night while we were filming this show. The whole thing got screwed up. I had to start everything over. By that time, we decided to push it to right now. So here we are on Monday, recording the episode, the FBI episode, the raid on Mar-a-Lago that was supposed to be recorded last week. We're doing it today, but you know what? It's going to turn out to be a good thing. And it's going to be a good thing because there's a lot of new developments, and this show's going to actually be a lot better for it. So one last time, I want to say to YouTube, to TikTok, to all of the folks, the people that have come in and lied and reported us and got us banned, all right? And I want to say something really quick, all right? Before I say this to YouTube and TikTok and a lot of these other platforms out there, okay? Before I say this, I'm going to tell you right now, all right? I'm going to tell you right now, we never, ever advocate for violence. We never do that. We always tell people to use their mind, to use their intelligence. We always tell people to do their research, to learn. You see those pieces of paper on the wall? I'm no dumb cookie. Not saying that denotes intelligence, but I'm using it as an example to prove that I'm not here BSing people. I know what I'm talking about, all right? And I'm giving people good advice. I'm not the extremist, all right? YouTube, all right? TikTok, all right? Feds listening to my feed at this point. Lots of wacky stuff been happening, so I wouldn't doubt it. All right, guys? I'm not that guy. I'm the guy trying to bring everybody together, trying to teach people the right way, trying to teach people to use their noggin and influence the culture just like the left does. Fight fire with fire the right way. Peacefully resist. But no, they know that something special is happening here. So shut it down before it explodes. Well, now I'm going to say it. So to TikTok, to YouTube, to all the algorithms out there, to all the lefties, to all the folks that sit there and go, hey, you're full of crap. You're a lie. You're not a protected class. You're not in an interracial marriage. You're not anything special. You're full of, you're a racist. Banned. Here's what I have to say to you. You. Okay. Am I really wrong? Tell me, am I really wrong to say that? Am I really wrong to go on this little rant, to be pissed off? I know you're all pissed off. There's millions of you that are pissed off. So why can't we say it? You know why we can't say it? You know why you feel like a hamster in a cage? You know why you feel like you're being held down, like you're sitting there with duct tape over your mouth? Because you are. You're not allowed to have an opinion because the left owns all the spaces. They own everything. All the entertainment spaces, BuzzFeed, TMZ, all of it, even Fox Corporation itself. It's all left wing. Where do you go to relax? Where do you go to unwind? Where do you go to talk freely about your beliefs without having to be careful? Tell me you can talk about your core values, your beliefs without looking over your shoulder, without worrying about your job. Tell me, do you trust the government? Do you trust your neighbors? Do you trust your friends? Do you trust your own family to not report you to the Gestapo? That's the world we're living in now. It might be a digital Gestapo. It might be a virtual prison. It might not be physical racism, physical exclusion, exile. But it's digital, and 99% of everything we do, hell, all of my business deals, they're all digital. So when you kill somebody's digital identity, you literally kill their ability to make money, to feed their family, to do anything. It's like they don't even exist anymore. And in a world that is continually shifting and moving at lightning speed towards digital everything, you may as well have killed them in real life. So why? Why do you do that to us? Millions and millions and millions of Americans. I'm not talking about people on the extreme right. I'm not talking about people on the extreme left, anything like that. I'm talking about people that are a little libertarian, a little bit fiscally conservative, people that are normal everyday people that range from the average person that might smoke a joint before they go to sleep to the staunch conservative. Where do you go to come together with your brothers and sisters? Where do you go? And I know where it is. You want to know? It's f***ing nowhere. That's where you go. You go f***ing nowhere because it doesn't exist because they f***ing own it all. That's why. That's why I'm Shadowban. That's why nobody's hearing anything from any of us little guys. That's why our reach is cut off. That's why they step on our and they tell us not to scream. It's because they control all the spaces. So when the FBI raid Trump, you should be asking a lot of questions. Show me on the sloth where they violated your civil rights. Right here in the Shadowban. So, the FBI goes into Mar-a-Lago early in the morning. They know Trump's in New York, all right? And we're going to get through this quick because people have been talking about it all week. So we're not going to bore you with too many of the details, but we'll get the pertinent ones. Trump's in New York, pleading the fifth to the deposition, all right? Trying to use his constitutional rights that have all been violated by this point, whether you love the guy or hate the guy, okay? This isn't a MAGA show, by the way. This is a normal person show, and I still consider us on the right normal people, all right? So it's a show for everyone, whether you're MAGA, whether you're a regular Republican, whether you're a freaking libertarian, all right? You're welcome here, all right? You're welcome here. So we're talking about this raid. We're talking about them taking all these boxes out. We're talking about them showing up in the morning while Trump is in New York, 6:30, 6 in the morning, something like that. 15 cars, 30, 40 agents. They cracked the safe. They took his passports. You took the ex-president's passports? Are you out of your mind? What the kind of bull are the elites trying to spark? Division and violence equals money for the elites who run Washington, and in an even greater sense, the elites who run the world. They want bad things to happen. They don't give a crap. They don't give a crap as long as it suits their agenda. They stay in power, and they can appear to fix the problems in their own way while they all get richer for generations and generations. I'll repeat the theme as I repeat in every podcast, like kings and queens, like dukes and duchesses of old. They have their foot on your throat. The peasants of the world are still here covered in shit. It just might be digital shit. That's just what it is. So they go in there. All right, they go in there. They raid the place. They take 15 boxes. They say they got confidential documents, all right? They go into Melania's closet. They raid her wardrobe. And how much money do you want to bet that some little Fed, all right? And listen, I don't have anything against normal worker bee folks, all right? There are big people at the top that make big decisions, and there are a lot of people that are just normal little guys, all right, that don't have any decision-making power, that have families to feed. I get that. Not everybody can be brave. Not everybody has the courage to defy an order in the name of the Constitution. I get that. Not everybody has to be brave. We'll do it for you. It's okay. But I have nothing against you. But they went in there. They took... All right, they took the passports. They sniffed Melania Trump's underwear. Well, at least I imagine they would. I would. Who wouldn't? Come on. Anyway, maybe. I don't know. Do you think I would? Put in the comments below if you think I would. Anyway, we need to change the subject on that. So the feds roll up. They sniff the panties. Why do we keep going back to Melania's panties? Oh my God. Let me just cross this off the list so that we can stop talking about that. And my wife doesn't bust in the studio with a knife because she has spidey senses. I don't know if any ladies are listening out there that have these same spidey senses when you can tell your man is talking dirty about another woman. Not good. Your chica running with that knife and choppity chop, chop, chop. She cut that little thingy off just like I chop up my podcast and I turn it into shorts, reels, and TikToks. So the big demand, the big thing they asked, the big question, what the hell was on the warrant? Why was this such a surprise? Why were the lawyers not allowed in there? Why do we not know what happened? Why are they cracking safes? And they're trying to blow up a big deal. This is the National Archives. This isn't some nuclear thing. They keep saying nuclear, but those things change all the time. Do you really think they just have a piece of paper laying around? Even if it was a president, do you really think they just have a piece of paper laying around? Don't use these codes to launch the nukes. Woo! Don't be dumb. Come on, this isn't as big a deal as you think. They're trying to make it so he can't run in 2024. That's just what it is. You know it is. You know it is. Don't deny it. So they come out, all right? They come out and they say, Trump will never let us see what is on the warrant, all right? It must be something really bad. So Trump comes out, and what's he say? He says, open the floodgates, release it. I got nothing to hide. Show everybody, unseal the records. The left said, you won't let us unseal the records. BS. And Trump said, no, unseal the records, the huge record, unseal the records. And you know what the leftist judge did today? You know what? We shouldn't unseal the records. It might not be good for the case. Really? He called your bluff. He said, yeah, unseal the records. All right, I got nothing to hide. And they said, oop, oh, you called us on the bluff. Yeah, don't unseal the records. Well, you know, we think people are stupid and they won't notice anyway. So we're just going to keep doing all this in public and, you know, pretend like we're going to actually keep the House and the Senate. So what happened today? Two big things happened today. Monday, all right? They happen today. And here's what they are, all right? First off, Trump did an interview on Fox. Even though Fox is biased against Trump, they really are. Come on, Fox isn't a MAGA network, all right? This isn't a MAGA network either, but it's an everybody network, so everybody's welcome and included, including the MAGA folks. But we all know that Fox has something against Trump. And now, let me clarify something really quick. I'm a conservative, all right? I run companies, but I'm a conservative, and I actually do like Trump. I would love to see Trump 2024, and then Trump DeSantis actually 2024, like DeSantis come out as the surprise VP to really drive it home. I mean, that's unstoppable. And if they wait to the last minute and do that, it'll be like a pro wrestling event. The roof will explode off the country. But DeSantis Trump 2024, then DeSantis 2028, and DeSantis 2032. That would be badass. 12 years to fix the country. All right. I would love to get into my 50s. Ooh, I just aged myself. I'd love to get into my 50s in the 2030s and see what a beautiful, beautiful world this could be with that type of leadership. All right. Not everybody has to like Trump. That's my belief. And the companies that I do, they're for everybody. Again, everybody on the right, from the person in the middle, the libertarian, or to the person that's just a little fiscally conservative, to the person that's really, really conservative, to the MAGA person. Everybody is included with what I do with my company. And you're going to see some really big things. Because if you see this right here, ooh, going to be pitching for $1 million. And then you're going to see some big boy going on. All right. Some big boy quo break is imminent. All right. But listen. All right. They pretend like they're going to win. Okay. The left sits around and they literally gaslight the entire country. All right. But Trump went on. He went on to the Bias Network and he told the truth. All right. He told the truth. And then Jim Jordan did something big too. But before we get into that, let me read to you what Trump did. All right. Because Trump came out and he said basically he will do whatever he can to help the country. He's really upset. We're all really upset after the FBI raid. And again, even if you don't like Trump, you should be upset. You should be upset that they hired 87,000 IRS agents armed with the right to use deadly force to come collect all of our money. The little guy, the peasant, remember? Kings, queens, dukes, duchesses, foot on your throat. They are coming for your money. So even if you're on the left, even if you're a pro-abortion person, even if you don't believe in God and you're all that, you hate everything we believe in. You really, really hate us that much? You really, really hate the right so much? You hate Trump so much that you say, here, please take my fucking money, take my wallet. I don't want a fucking house. I want to fucking live on the fucking street. That's what you want, you okay. Woosah. Woosah. Good things, good things. If my earlobes were sticking out, I would be tickling them. But Trump came out, all right? Trump came out and he said he'll do whatever to help save the country after the raid, all right? I'm going to read a snippet. He came out and he said, the country's in a very dangerous position. There's tremendous anger like I've never seen before over all of the scams and this new one, years of scams and witch hunts. And now this. And if there's anything we can do to help, anything, I and my people are certainly willing to do that. That's what Trump said. He came out and said that even after Fox has belittled him and said bad things about him. He's trying to reach as many people as possible. You guys always ask, why does he go on these networks? Why does he put himself in that position? Because he wants millions of people to hear what he has to say. And whether you like those companies or not, and God knows I don't like those companies, they have the money and they control the viewership. And that's how that works. But something really interesting also happened that I don't hear a lot of people talking about, all right? After all this went down, because we absolutely know that nobody's going to take care of this. Nobody's going to fix this. Nobody's going to do anything as long as the corrupted Democrat Party, the party of slavery during the Civil War, all of this is true. You shouldn't take me down for it because it's actual historical fact. The Democrats will never allow an actual investigation. But you see, that doesn't mean the Republicans won't. No, we have good guys out there like Jim Jordan. And Jim Jordan is going to be leading judiciary committees. He's going to be leading the opening of criminal investigations against people. That's what's going to happen. And he sent a letter out. All right. He sent a letter out to the assistant to the president and the White House chief of staff. I think the letter also went to Christopher Wray. It went to every big department involved with the raid on Mar-a-Lago. And I'm going to read this to you and I'm going to tell you something because it seems that something very interesting is going to go down later in the year. Listen, 2022, the movie ain't over. 2023, the sequel, and 2024, the extravaganza trilogy crazy movie is really coming out soon. So hold on to your Kansas is going bye-bye. This gets crazier. It doesn't get any calmer. I promise you. Dear Mr. Klain, the FBI's unprecedented raid, and remember, this is coming out of the mouth of Jim Jordan, the letter from the Congress of the United States, House of the Republicans, Committee of the Judiciary, Mr. Ronald A. Klain, Assistant to the White House Chief of Staff, the Assistant to the President and the White House Chief of Staff, Washington, D.C., dear Mr. Klain, the FBI's unprecedented raid of President Trump's residence in a shocking escalation of the Biden administration's weaponization of law enforcement resources against its political opponents. The American people deserve transparency and accountability from our most senior law enforcement officials in the executive branch. We will settle for nothing but your complete cooperation with your inquiry. We will settle for nothing. That means there'll be consequences if they don't. During the Biden administration, the Justice Department has shattered public confidence in the equal application of justice. The department has filed politically motivated lawsuits against Republican-led states on policies disfavored by the Biden administration, artificially inflated domestic violent extremism statistics to advance Biden's administration's political narrative, and use counterterrorism resources to target parents at school board meetings, opposed to policies supported by the Biden administration. And don't you dare forget that Loudoun County. And selectively prosecuted and investigated political opponents of the Biden administration. These actions not only undermine the stated mission of the department, they violate the most fundamental tenets of our country. The entire country. The American people deserve answers for the Biden administration's continued misuse of law enforcement resources against its political opponents. Accordingly, please produce the following material: all documents and communications referring or relating to the execution of a search warrant on President Trump's residence. All documents and communications referring or relating to the decision to seek a search warrant for President Trump's residence. All documents and communications referring or relating to the use of confidential human sources in connection to the search of Trump's residence. All documents and communications between or among the Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Executive Office of the President about the search of Trump's residence. All documents and communications between or among the Executive Office of President of the National Archives and Records Administration about the Trump administration's presidential records. And remember, Trump signed that. All right. He signed an update to that to make things a felony. All right. There's a reason for that. This, I believe, was in the cards. All right. Trump, for as much crap as you give him, for as silly as you think he is, he's not a billionaire genius for nothing. All right. This stuff is planned out way in advance. So the fact that they're going after him using something he helped establish makes me curious. But let's keep reading for a second. Please provide this material as soon as possible, but no later than 5 p.m. on August 29th, 2022. In addition, please preserve all responsive documents in your possession, custody, or control. You should construe this communication as an instruction to preserve all documents, or maybe potentially responsive to this inquiry. An instruction to preserve all documents, communications, and other information, including electronic information and metadata that are sent using official and personal accounts or devices, or maybe potentially responsive to this inquiry. All right. This instruction includes all records created using text messages, phone-based message application, or encryption software. For purposes of this request, preserve includes taking reasonable steps to prevent the partial or full destruction, alteration, testing, deletion, shredding, incineration, wiping, relocation, migration, theft, mutilation, or negligent or reckless handling that could render the information incomplete or inaccessible. These steps include preserving all compilations of documents that have already been gathered in response to other government or litigation requests, even if copies of individual documents or materials may still exist elsewhere in that organization. The Committee on the Judiciary has jurisdiction to oversee the activities of the Department of Justice and the FBI pursuant to Rule 10 of the Rules of the House of Representatives. This is signed by Jim Jordan, Ranking Member, Louis Gohmert, Ranking Member, Steve Chabot, Member of Congress, and Darrell Issa, Ranking Member, Subcommittee on Courts, Intellectual Property, and the Internet. And folks, if you don't think the right is going to use that to pursue, gut out, and clean out the swamp, then you have another thing coming. You don't think that Trump had Jordan do this? Come on. This is politics. It's the real world. It's not a fantasy. So, the FBI walked into Trump's trap. The FBI, so brazenly wanting payback for what happened, walked right into it, right into the mess, and did everything in their power to get Trump reelected in 2024 without even using what I believe will be his secret weapon, DeSantis, as his vice president. No matter what we say, what we do, like him or not, Trump DeSantis 2024 steamrolls everybody. There is nobody that could win. Although when I did a duet with a dude on TikTok named AI Overload, that's a guy that asks AI computers questions. He asked who the next president could be, and I saw a picture that looked awfully like John Kerry. And if you want to see what that is, go to @uncensored_AR on TikTok. And don't worry, we're only on TikTok because there's millions of patriots there. We're trying to reach them, but we're building something that will help them get away from their TikTok addiction. But listen, no matter how we exercise our free speech, seeing this raid on Trump's residence makes you understand, it makes you realize how unfree we actually are. Whether you're on the right, whether you're in the middle, whether you're on the left considering leaving and coming to the right, whether you're a libertarian toking a joint and wondering why we're spending so much money, but okay with states doing states' right stuff, whether you're like me, a modern conservative, all right, who is pro-life, but also understands that the Constitution is essential. And that's what I am. I'm a constitutionalist after I'm a conservative. And a constitutionalist believes that if enough people participate in the process of our Constitution, local elections, local voting, getting out there and influencing the culture and making people want to do something they believe in, when you actually mix that with small-time state politics, magic happens. Our Constitution, our country, our unity flourishes. So if a state somewhere really gets their crap together and the people really want abortion, I don't agree with it. But that's not my place. Even in the Bible, it tells you it's God's job to judge. I don't like it and I don't want it, and I'll do everything in my power to influence it to not happen, right? But at the end of the day, I can't tell somebody who's properly using our Constitution not to. And if by properly using that Constitution, it gains them that right in a non-corrupt, non-BS way, then I have to be okay and respect that even if I don't like it. That's the foundation of this country. But I'm not willing to do that. And this is where we're all going to agree. None of us are willing to do that unless the left will come to the middle, come to terms, look us dead in the eye and say, all right, enough is enough. We are not going to persecute you, shove our freaking views down your throat, brainwash your kids, or come after you. We're not going to make you lose your job. We're not going to talk crap about you. We're going to respect the fact that you're different and your core values are different, and we'll go via con Dios, so in this direction, and you via con Dios in that direction. That's what we all need to do, and that's what we all want. It's too bad that it's never going to happen. At the end of the day, all right, at the end of the day, when a transgender raped a girl in Loudoun County, Virginia, and things like this happen all the time, what happened? Her parent, her dad, was labeled a terrorist. We found out that the FBI, the CIA, everybody labeled all parents terrorists. Anybody patriotic, anybody who says the Pledge of Allegiance, anybody who loves God and loves their country, all right? They are a terrorist, an extremist. How could you even say that about American people? How could you say that about half of the country? But it's obvious the core values have shifted, and the left, as I said in the beginning, owns all the spaces. It's not just entertainment media. It's the government. It's all the government agencies. It's the 87,000 IRS agents coming after you. You think that they're going to go after Cher? Come on, they're going to go after Kevin Sorbo. They're not going to go after Cher. Kevin Sorbo, you better hide that Hercules money from Xena. She's coming for you. Listen, there's a double standard. How do we expect to survive with a double standard? How do we trust the government, the small letter agencies that are so large that their three little letters are like giant balloons, giant planets, giant comets in the sky? They overshadow even the president of the United States. It sometimes feels as if the president has no power, and it's all these agencies and big business folks and elites at Davos, at the WEF, bringing on the Great Reset, pulling the puppet strings. I understand politics is all about strategy and tactics, like playing 4D chess. But at some point, somebody strong has to stand up and say, enough is enough. And all of us patriots have to do the same thing. We have to stand up and peacefully say enough is enough. You're smarter than that. You don't have to resort to the things the left resorts to. You don't have to resort to the things extremists resort to. You're smarter than that. Build companies, build businesses, build ideas, unify people, bring people together, make us less dependent on all of the systems and all of the spaces that the left owns. So with that being said, we are building a really, really awesome platform. We'll have more news coming soon. I got a 54-page business plan that I wrote here. We're going to be pitching for $1 million and building something very special. But if I'm making everybody who reads this sign an NDA, I can't really talk too much about it. But Quo Break is imminent. All right. You're going to want to take a break from the status quo with me, and you're going to break the status quo with me. And we're going to be quo breakers together, ladies and gentlemen. But that's coming up. And in the meantime, go to www.arwtf, check out our blogs, check out our articles. We've got 20 fantastic writers, and that group is growing soon with Quo Break. We'll be able to pay them. And I'm very, very, very excited about that because I've been wanting to pay some of these folks for over 2 years. So that's going to be great to be able to provide some income for people. Other than that, all right, please, please, please check back. Like I said, ar.wtf, bookmark it, because later tonight we're going to have 3 or 4 new articles popping out. I do everything manually. This new company, this new system will automate. All right. So that'll make it much, much easier for me to pay attention to social media, pay attention to other things. I push really hard. They shadow ban me. The views go away. I push in one area, another falls. So I just have to do everything that I can to juggle while we're out there pitching for funding. All right. But we're doing it for you. We're doing it to help the world. If we become a large company, if we can have the funding to help this country restore balance and order and peace before this gets out of hand, well, then the time of pioneer entrepreneurs is back upon us. And you're looking at the next Dana White. But I'm not going to be the Dana White of fighting. No, I'm going to be your Dana White, the Dana White of entertainment media for the normal people, the millions of people like you and me that have been forgotten, that are silenced around every corner. I'm going to be your voice. We're going to agitate the system, and all of us together, we're going to break the status quo. All right, folks? So in the meantime, peacefully resist, all right? In the meantime, voice your opinion. Don't let them tell you that you can't. Don't let them tell you that you aren't allowed to speak. Don't be afraid. Risk. There's plenty of jobs out there. There's millions of jobs, and none of the young people want to work. If you get fired, you will find another job, all right? I have faith in you. I am proud of you. I care about you. I wouldn't put myself through this hell if I didn't. And one more time to the trolls, one more time to the freaking bull community guideline lies, you. All right, guys, I'm going to see you next week with episode 188. This has been episode 187. Shadowban the FBI. Don't shadow me. I'm going to call it something like that, all right? Remember, @ uncensored AR, uncensored AR, uncensored AR across all platforms. If you don't find me there, look up American Reveille, Reveille. Yes, I'm an actual doctor. And if you've been wondering this entire time, no, I'm not wearing any pants. Have a good night.